Alrighty, we are starting up the 7th TNT Nitro Draft League right now. We are kicking it off week 1 with Riggs versus Faye. Now, this is a very interesting format because we are actually using Megas, which are really great, especially with ZA coming out soon. Megas are on the brain, so we wanted to do a Mega Draft. Now, I can say with a lot of certainty, I am not the most familiar with Megas outside, of course, the ones that you saw a lot in the Gen 6 metagame with, like, Mega Kangaskhan. Of course, I know all about Parental Bond shenanigans, but when it comes to, like, Mega Diancie this week and Magearna, I am not the most familiar with what they do. Now, you're going to see, again, Mega Diancie on Faye's side, but on the roster on the right, you're going to see, oh, well, that's Mawile Mega right there. There's no Mega Diancie. So, I can say I am recording these starting in week 3. We're currently in week 3 right now. I've been busy with school, so we're finally getting to them. Rosters might have changed. These are the current rosters as of week 3. If you want to see any roster changes, it'll be on the doc, so you can take a look. I think week 2, Faye made the trade from Diancie to Mawile. But this week is essential to see how strong teams are. Riggs typically doesn't make a lot of changes to his teams. By the way, Riggs is a very strong player as well. Tied for 4th in last draft, and he's been killing it ever since his first draft league, where he struggled a little bit because he took on someone else's team, but quite the strong player. Faye, on the other hand, I knew already, has made some massive changes, and they typically change their draft a lot. And it looks like the season's going to be no different, but it looks like they made less changes this season than last season already. But already, from what I've seen, Riggs has a very strong team. I haven't looked at any of these VODs. I picked a couple of pieces of info up, and it looks like Riggs has a very strong draft. But this week is honestly essential to see how strong your draft is right off the bat, because you're typically not looking to counter anyone's strategies. You're typically just looking to bring your full force, your best mons, your top 6 picks, and see how well they work together. And then, like, as we're going in, especially starting week 4 onwards, you're going to start seeing people make sets that are going to specifically counter another's Megamon or their big support mon, stuff like that, which that's essential for draft. But these first couple weeks are just going to see how powerful your initial draft is, which is also very important. So if your team does very well in these weeks, typically that's a strong draft, and they have a high chance of getting into finals, into playoffs. So we're going to see. We're going to jump in. I'm excited to see how these players are going to play. So already I knew what I had to do was I had to turn down the audio, because this is my second time recording this, because I jumped in and holy crap, the sounds are very loud. So alright, music's off. We're going to start playing. So jumping in, Faye is leading Torn and Mamoswine. Oh my gosh, dude, I'm being, like, deafened. So, turn 1 right away, a protect from Mamo, protect from Magearna, Heat Wave, trying to hit the Magearna, only hitting the Gothitelle, doing a little damage, and there's Trick Room coming up. That speed set's very low. It is going to buff Mamoswine as well, but Magearna is going to be very scary here. And Fairy's a very good offensive type into this team. You don't have a lot of Fairy resists, so. Alright, there's the Poison Terra, there's your Poison, there's your Fairy resist. The substitute coming out from Tornadus, Flash Cannon into the Mamoswine, and that's the double in the Mamoswine. That's dead. That is a very scary turn. Plus, Soul Heart is going to be buffing up that special attack. Really good double from Riggs. Just ignoring the Tornadus, because in Trick Room, like, that Prankster is not going to be doing a whole lot. What, you're going to Prankster Tailwind? Not a real big deal. And then, of course, the cover for the Poison Terra was really, really good. So overall, a very strong first turn from Riggs here. But we are bringing Diancie. The problem, assuming you're probably going to Mega right away, there's the Mega. Flash Cannon right in, that's dead. And already, it is not looking good. This is looking very Riggs favored. The unfortunate miss, and holy cow, what is that defense? That special defense, that is crazy. Magearna already looking like it's a very strong mon. And Riggs doesn't have, like, one of those really strong Megas. Again, he has Mega Venusaur, which is really, really good. But again, like, he doesn't have a top form like Faye had Mega Diancie, and now they have Mega Mawile. He doesn't have that kind of Mon. So Magearna's pulling a lot of weight right now. Alright, here's the helping hand. The substitute coming up again from Tornadus. Dazzling Gleam right in, immediately going to fade it and killing off Shiftry. And there's another one that this is just all game. Yeah, no, that was absolute destruction. It really started with the kill on the Mamoswine after the Terra. Really good coverage from Riggs, and you can just saw Faye was kind of struggling to get back in the game. That first Trick Room was really devastating. Honestly, if I was Faye looking at the roster, I don't know much you could do. The biggest thing you need to stop Trick Room from coming up because having Magearna move first is such a dangerous thing. So that was game 1, very Riggs favored. That was disgusting. But we're gonna jump into game 2. Only 2 games, so you kind of already know who wins this set. But right off the bat, let's see what they lead. So right away, Faye goes with looks a lot more defensive lead. You have Magmar right here, really good redirect, really bulky mon, especially with Eviolite, and then Deoxys defense, which I have no idea what this mon does. And then Riggs on the other hand, there's the Lander, it's a good counter for the Magmar, and once again leading that Gothitelle. I'm assuming it's probably Shadow Tag, so that's going to be stopping switch outs. Alright, the fake out. No Trick Room coming up. Sub coming up from the Lando. And then what is it going to be? Follow me? A Roar going to be sending out Gothitelle, turning off Shadow Tag and bringing in Urshifu. Very interesting strat. Alright, the Fairy Terra going to be doing about, a little bit more than half. That did a lot. Okay, wow, Deoxys defense taking that like a champ, but not putting up a lot of damage. And then there's the Roar again. Gothitelle dragged back in. And that is going to turn on Shadow Tag again, giving Riggs a free fake out as well. Wicked Blow again, going to be killing Deoxys. That was, honestly, that Roar from Magmar. Didn't love it. Didn't love it. I understand you wanted to get Lando off a substitute, but giving another fake out to that Gothitelle was horrible. Because this very well, the turn it got faked out, that could have been a follow me. That could have been a follow me, and that would have made Wicked Blow do nothing. That would have given Deoxys another turn. Honestly, in hindsight, this was not a great choice. But yeah, the flinch coming out. Here's the Diancie again. The Mega right away. The Protect. Going Earth Power in. Once again, Magmar is just roaring everything. Here comes Torn coming out. Earth Power into Diancie, that's going to kill. Oh my gosh, man. And then a close combat into Torn, not doing a lot. That was probably meant for Diancie. And this is just looking very Riggs favored right now. There's Sludge Bomb into the Magmar, Blake Wind doing the miss and doing nothing. There is a speed drop though, that is nice. Water Terra, Flare Blitz doing nothing. The burn as well, getting really lucky with a lot of this stuff. It just doesn't matter. This game is already done. Soul Heart already coming up. Flash Cannon gonna be finishing it off. Already, Riggs' team looks very, very strong. Magearna looks very threatening. Alongside Gothitelle. Gothitelle put in a lot of work with Fake Out, and of course the Trick Room. And it looks like Shadow Tag was just as annoying. Urshifu and Lando, huge offensive threats. We didn't even see Mega Venusaur. And we didn't even see Entei. These 4 months purely just hauling ass. Really, really good showing from Riggs week 1. From Faye's side, there were some plays. Again, I think that Roar play was the only play that I can say, you probably could have done something a little bit better there. But of course, you didn't know who that Roar was going to bring out. Just the threat of Gothitelle coming back out is really scary, giving a free fake out. But Diancie did like absolutely nothing, and I can absolutely understand why Faye traded that. It just was doing nothing for them. It megaed and then died turn 1. I don't know what speed is that. Only 178 speed. So like typically with Trick Room up or Tailwind up, it just wasn't doing much against even mid-speed mons. So I mean, I can very much understand the Mega Mawile switch. Mawile is probably going to be a lot more effective on their team. I did like the Magmar. I thought the Roar set was very interesting. I didn't get to see a lot from Deoxys or Shiftry or Mamoswine, but of course Torn's still a very strong threat with that priority Tailwind and of course Bleak Windstorm as well. But overall, very solid week from Riggs, showing a very strong draft and and Faye honestly probably came out with a good idea or good knowledge of what their team needed to succeed. So overall, very successful week for both. But Riggs taking 2-0 over Faye week 1, and that's going to set him up for a really good early season.